that are within the jurisdiction of the Police Commission but are not otherwise on the agenda.
Thank you, sir. The Commission's moving the agenda to item number 5, which is general public comment.
Welcome.
Commissioners, I'd like to read a few quotes that I obtained over the Internet. Quotes that were made by Commissioner David Campos on 3/27/07 while he was at the Axis of Love Cannabis Club. The following quotes were, "This officer is one that I get the most complaints about. He has no business being a police officer. We are looking into how he ever got promoted, and we would like to know how he ever got promoted not once but twice." The individual Commissioner Campos was referring to is Sergeant Inspector Marty Halloran. Sergeant Halloran is a member of the Department's Narcotics Division and the treasurer of the SFPOA, and also a very close personal friend of mine. The comments of Commissioner Campos were apparently made in reference to Sergeant Halloran's work in the Narcotics Division, specifically in relation to a federal court case that's over 4 years old, which resulted in the largest seizure of narcotics, over 1,500 marijuana plants in recent years. The 3 co-defendants, Stephanie Landa, Thomas Kikuchi, and Kevin Gage, all with prior narcotic trafficking convictions, were subsequently indicted by a federal grand jury and later enter into a plea agreement with the United States Attorney's Office. It should also be noted that I was there on that day and assisted Sergeant Halloran in both the arrest and subsequent investigation. Commissioner Campos, an attorney, I believe, never once asked Sergeant Halloran for any background information on the case, nor did he ever check with Sergeant Halloran's commanding officer to get the other side. Instead, Commissioner Campos slandered an individual who has dedicated the last 18 years of his life to this department, serving with distinction in uniform patrol in the Mission, Ingleside, Northern, and Bayview, and was handpicked to participate in 2 task forces, has received hundreds of captain's commendations and citizen appreciation letters, 2 police commission commendations, and the highest award the department could ever bestow on one of its officers, the Gold Medal of Valor, as a result of a violent shootout in the streets of Oakland while conducting a narcotics investigation. Commissioner Campos wanted to know how Sergeant Halloran got promoted. Well, from what I've seen so far, based on the actions of certain members of this commission, promoting in this department is a much more difficult task than passing the bar exam. We apparently have much higher standards than the legal profession. But in Sergeant Halloran's case, I can answer the question for you, Commissioner Campos. He was selected for promotion based on merit. Nothing was ever given to him. Commissioner Campos said that Sergeant Marty Halloran has no business being a police officer. Oh, really? Well, for someone who has obviously dealt with this situation with a complete lack of integrity and has failed to act in a fair and impartial and objective manner, I believe the opposite is true, Mr. Campos, and perhaps you should not be sitting on this commission. I'm going to make a statement that, Mr. Campos, as we've known for 2 years, you intend to run for supervisor. That is certainly no surprise to us, and we would certainly appreciate it if you would do it on your own rather than on the backs of our cops. To the rest of the commissioners, I often wonder if you care and understand the effect that actions such as Commissioner Campos has on your credibility as a whole.
Next speaker.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is John Nolte. I live in the Tenderloin. Recently, I found that the rules to book the Tenderloin Community Room was I was a member of the Alliance for Better District 6. I watched the President, Michael Nolte, for the last 6 years collect cash and donations